This week's Torah portion, Chukat, deals with the rules and regulations associated with death and burial. Among the ideas discussed in this week's parsha is the concept of tumat ohel, the notion that if a person dies in a tent or a house or any other covered space, that the ritual impurity associated with that corpse is transmitted to the people and objects that are under that same covering. And any people that contract that impurity are restricted from entering the temple or touching holy things or eating holy food for a period of 7 days, after which they're subject to the purification rituals that are the subject of the earlier part of this week's parsha. The problem for contemporary Jews is we don't have a temple, we don't have sacred food, we don't have sacred objects. So how do we understand these rules and what sense do they make for our lives? The Hafetz Hayyim, Rabbi Yisrael Meger Kagan, who lived in Poland at the beginning of the 20th century, addressed that very question. And he calls our attention to one distinctive feature of tumat ohel, which is that the only objects that can contract impurity are those vessels that are open. But if a jar or another container were sealed shut, it would not contract impurity. As the Torah tells us, every open vessel with no lid fastened down shall be impure. But the Torah leaves us the implication that a closed vessel, a sealed vessel, would be exempt from that impurity. The Hafetz Hayyim notes that the Torah here is dealing with clay vessels. And clay vessels are often used as a metaphor for the human being, as we are formed of the clay of the earth. So the lesson he draws from that is that if we are not sealed, if we don't know the right moment to keep our mouths shut, we can contract a spiritual impurity. And his metaphor is really apt. You think about the way that a closed vessel can be opened if you mean to, if there's something valuable inside that you want to take out, to use, or to share, you have the ability to open that vessel and take the thing out. But if the vessel were knocked over in some kind of a casual, careless manner, it wouldn't spill because the lid is sealed on. In the same way, we have a choice about how we deal with our lives. Do we walk around with our mouths open, spilling out whatever might come out and speaking all kinds of unfortunate things at inopportune moments? Or do we guard our mouths? Are we conscientious about what we say? And are we careful to open that seal that's on our lips only to bring out something of value? That's the challenge that the Hafetz Hayyim sees in this week's Torah portion, and it's a worthy challenge for us to take on. Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.